A Vinicius hat-trick in a 4-0 win for Real Madrid against Osasuna. They really were back to their absolute best against Vicente Moreno's high-flying Osasuna. There was a minute's remembrance at the start of the game for all the victims of the flash floods that have claimed the lives of over 200 people in Valencia. And Vicente Moreno, of course, very much involved in the clean-up operation. He was back with his Wellington boots on in midweek, helping the people recover from that awful tragedy. He is, of course, from the region. Once the game got underway, it was one-way traffic, really. Real Madrid looking far more likely to get the opening goal of the game. This was a win that was marred by 2 injuries for Madrid players. One of them which looked particularly serious. Mbappe stretching there, couldn't quite get any power behind the shot. Rodrigo was the first player to pick up one of those injuries. That was his shot from distance. Sergio Herrera making the save. Fede Valverde, quick thinking. Osasuna not so quick in terms of closing Rodrigo down, and they could have paid for that. But their goalkeeper got them out of trouble. Mbappe coming deep for the ball, plays it to Rodrigo, who can't take the pass. And he can't carry on. And he was in tears, almost sat on the bench. We saw him with ice on what looks like a thigh or possibly a hamstring injury. Looks like a thigh injury for Rodrigo Goes. And it's Militao who gives him a kiss on the head as he goes off the pitch, but it will be Militao who then picks up what looks like a really serious injury. Hopefully for Rodrigo, he'll be back before too long. Left thigh problem, keeping him out of the action. But this is the moment when it gets really much worse for Real Madrid. We can hear the cries of agony. Eder Militao goes down on the edge of the 6-yard box, clutching his right knee. And Carlo Ancelotti can hear those screams and already fears for the worst. They have a real crisis in the central defence, Real Madrid. Alaba is out injured at the moment. It's just Rudiger and Militao. Tchouaméni sometimes plays there, but he's out injured at the moment. There are a couple of young central defenders who are also out injured at the moment. Jacobo, who's been playing, wasn't available for this game. Raul Asensio was. Raul Asensio came on. He's 21 years old. He's played 11 games this season for the B team. And he was absolutely brilliant when he came on. And he sets up Bellingham for Real Madrid's second goal. But this is really sad to see for, there he is, Raul Asensio. Really sad to see for Eder Militao, who missed pretty much all of last season with a cruciate knee ligament injury. It looks like the other knee potentially this time. Vinicius makes it 1-0. Unstoppable, coming in off the left onto his right foot. 33 minutes up. Jude Bellingham with the assist. He's offside here, but not here when the ball is played from Bellingham. Being played on by Boyoma. Boyoma, who's been so good since moving from Valladolid to Osasuna, but he didn't have his best afternoon. Playing Real Madrid onside there, and he's also at fault for the 4th goal. The goal that completed Vinicius' hat-trick. And Vinicius dedicating the goal to his manager, Carlo Ancelotti. This looked like being the 3rd time that Real Madrid will be forced to make a change inside the first half. But as it was, Lucas was patched up and he played out the rest of the half. But he had to play as a winger. Valverde dropped back to right back. And at the start of the second half, this is the second goal coming up. And at the start of the second half, Lucas Vázquez wasn't on the pitch and Valverde had to play the rest of the game at right back. This is Bellingham's goal. It's his first of the season. It's his first since May, and it comes from a superb assist from Raul Asensio, who'd just come on to replace Militao. Inch perfect over the top of the Osasuna defence. Bellingham had made various runs like this one, hadn't been played in, but he was picked out here, and it's a brilliant finish as well. and we heard a rendition of Hey Jude, which we haven't heard so far this season at the Santiago Bernabeu. Osasuna really struggling to get any sort of foothold in the game. Mbappe playing this one to Camavinga, who might have made it 3, but sending that one over the top. He hasn't scored since 2022, Camavinga. Played the first half in the midfield 3, but not as the holding midfielder, but in the second half he was the holding midfielder, with Valverde moving to full-back. Another chance there for Bellingham. This time it was Boyomo in the right place at the right time, making the block. Modric came on at the restart, and Mbappe going in search of that elusive first goal in 4 games. He is on 6 league goals, which is by no means a bad return after 13 games played, but the expectations were so high, and it's been a while since he hit the back of the net. He played in Vinicius there, and Vinicius dragging his shot wide. Maybe have given it back to his strike partner, but went for goal, failed to hit the target. Raul Garcia replaced Ruben Peña, and for a moment it looked as if Osasuna were going to play 2 up top, going in search of their first goal of the game. It didn't last for long because Budimir would go off shortly afterwards. That was Vinicius teeing up Mbappe, and his shot going into the side netting. Moncayola was with this corner. Now this ends up as a goal for Real Madrid, in part because of Lunin's brilliant assist, and in part because Vinicius, when he's in this mood, is unstoppable. Away from Arezzo, around Sergio Herrera, and Bellingham celebrates with Lunin, and that was 3-0. Vinicius moving to 7 goals for the season, 2 in this game. So much control at such high speed. Carlo Ancelotti was asked ahead of the game, would he be moving Vinicius' position? And he said, well, he's our most important, most decisive player, so no. And Vinicius certainly proved that. He might have got his hat-trick here. It's Mbappe with the cross. Sergio Herrera made the save, but the hat-trick did arrive in the end. Camavinga playing the ball through. Vinicius sliding this one into Brahim. Comes out to Valverde. Shot was saved by Herrera. Sergio Herrera, Osasuna's best player, which tells the story. In a 4-0 defeat, the goalkeeper is your best player. And here comes goal number 4, and here's the error. It's Boyomo. He's not done any favours by Lucas Toro, who plays the ball to him. He's got Brahim on top of him. Brahim wins it back, rolls it to Vinicius, and Vinicius with the hat-trick on 68 minutes. 8 league goals now, Vinicius. And the big difference for Real Madrid was the way that they pressed, the way that they harried, the way that Osasuna were not allowed to dwell on the ball, and it paid dividends time and again. And Madrid were very, very impressive. Coming into this game, remember, off the back of 2 home defeats against Barcelona and Milan. Lots of doubts, even over the manager, Carlo Ancelotti, but all those doubts cast aside And Vinicius teeing up Mbappe. That really would have crowned the Madrid performance if he'd scored. But Arezzo just gets in front of him. Mbappe and Vinicius went off. Arda Güler and Endrick came on. Another hug for the manager. Mbappe trying to get past Arezzo. There was lots of support for Mbappe in the stadium. Real Madrid supporters are chanting his name, despite the fact that he wasn't at his best. More changes for Osasuna. Brian Zaragoza going off. Disappointing on the day from Brian Zaragoza. Couldn't really get into the game. Budimir likewise. And a late yellow for Lucas Toro. Frustration of a difficult afternoon for Osasuna. Mbappe going down in the area. For a moment it looks as if the referee had pointed to the spot, but he hadn't. It was a free kick given against Rudiger for the push. And Osasuna pressing just to get what would have been a consolation goal. This result doesn't change the fact that they had a good start to the season. But they hadn't won at the Bernabeu since 2004. That wait goes on into a third decade. Because the final score in the Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid 4, Osasuna 0.